Welcome to English Store. The gentle hum of the aircraft engines filled the cabin as Dr. Sarah Chen settled into her seat in row 12, exhausted from a grueling week at the medical conference in Chicago. At 31, she had just completed her residency in emergency medicine and was flying home to Seattle to start her new position at Harborview Medical Center. The pink blazer she wore was wrinkled from travel, but she was too tired to care about appearances. Sarah had barely closed her eyes when she was jolted awake by the captain's voice over the intercom, though something in his tone immediately caught her attention. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Williams. We have a medical emergency on board. Is there a doctor or medical professional among our passengers? Please press your call button or notify a flight attendant immediately." Sarah's training kicked in instantly. She pressed her call button and stood up, scanning the cabin as a flight attendant hurried toward her. "I'm Drive Chen, emergency medicine physician. What's the situation?" The flight attendant, whose name tag read Jennifer, looked relieved. "Thank you, doctor. We have a passenger in first class experiencing what appears to be a heart attack. Can you help?" Sarah grabbed her small medical bag from the overhead compartment and followed Jennifer to the front of the plane, where she found a man in his 50s lying across two seats, conscious but clearly in distress. His face was pale and sweaty and he was clutching his chest. "Sir, I'm Drive Chen. Can you tell me what you're experiencing?" "Crushing chest pain started about 10 minutes ago," the man managed to say, radiating down my left arm. "I feel nauseous." Sarah immediately began her assessment, checking his pulse and breathing while asking Jennifer to bring the aircraft's medical kit. The passenger exhibited classic signs of a myocardial infection, and at 30,000 feet, their options were severely limited. "What's your medical history? Any heart problems, medications?" Sarah asked as she worked. "High blood pressure, cholesterol, medication. My father died of a heart attack at 52. Sarah made the critical decision that would define the next hour. "Jennifer, I need you to contact the cockpit immediately. We need to make an emergency landing at the nearest suitable airport." As Jennifer rushed to communicate with the flight crew, Sarah focused on stabilizing her patient. She administered aspirin from the medical kit, monitored his vital signs, and positioned him to optimize his breathing and circulation. "Doctor," the patient said weakly, "my name is Robert Martinez. I have a daughter. She's getting married next week. I can't miss that. Mr. Martinez, we're going to do everything we can to make sure you're there for her wedding, but right now, I need you to focus on staying calm and breathing steadily." Captain Williams's voice came over the intercom again. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are making an emergency landing in Denver. Medical personnel will be standing by. Please remain seated and follow all crew instructions." For the next 20 minutes, Sarah monitored Robert's condition while the aircraft descended rapidly toward Denver International Airport. She coordinated with ground medical services via radio, providing detailed information about his symptoms and treatment, so the emergency room team would be prepared. "Dr. Chen," Jennifer said quietly. Captain Williams asked if you could briefly speak with him about the passenger's condition. Sarah made sure Robert was stable and followed Jennifer to the cockpit, where Captain Williams turned to greet her with obvious concern. "Doctor, how critical is the situation? Do we need to consider other options? The passenger is experiencing what appears to be a significant cardiac event." The emergency landing was absolutely the right call. Every minute counts with this condition. Captain Williams nodded grimly. "We'll have you on the ground in 8 minutes. The paramedics are standing by." As they landed in Denver, Sarah continued monitoring Robert while emergency medical personnel boarded the aircraft. She provided a detailed handoff to the paramedic team, ensuring continuity of care as they transferred Robert to the waiting ambulance. "Dr. Chen," Robert said as they prepared to move him, "I don't know how to thank you. Just focus on getting better so you can walk your daughter down the aisle." After Robert was transported to the hospital, Sarah found herself sitting in the Denver airport, waiting for the next flight to Seattle. The other passengers from her flight approached her throughout the evening, thanking her for her quick action and professional care. Captain Williams found her at the departure gate several hours later. Dr. Chen, I wanted to update you. The hospital called Mr. Martinez is stable. They were able to perform an angioplasty and his prognosis is good. The cardiologist said your quick recognition and treatment likely saved his life. Sarah felt the emotional weight of the day settling on her. I'm just glad we got him to medical care in time. Doctor, I've been flying for 22 years and I've seen a lot of medical emergencies. What you did today was exceptional. You remained calm under pressure, made sound medical decisions and probably saved a man's life while ensuring the safety of everyone else on board. 2 weeks later, Sarah received a package at her new job at Harborview Medical Center. Inside was a wedding photo showing Robert Martinez walking his daughter down the aisle along with a letter thanking her for making that moment possible. The letter included a note from Robert's daughter. Dr. Chen, because of your quick thinking and medical expertise, my father was able to walk me down the aisle at my wedding. Our family will never forget your kindness and professionalism during what could have been a tragedy. Sarah's supervisor, Drive, Patricia Wong, found her reading the letter in the break room. That's quite a story. Dr. Chen, word has gotten around about what you did on that flight. It's exactly the kind of commitment to patient care we value here. I was just doing what any doctor would do in that situation. Actually, you were doing what the best doctors do, staying calm under pressure, making critical decisions with limited resources, and putting patient welfare above personal convenience. 6 months later, Sarah stood before a room full of medical students, sharing the story of that flight as part of a lecture on emergency medicine in unusual settings. The most important lesson from that experience, she told the students, wasn't about the medical procedures or the diagnostic skills. It was about being prepared to serve as a physician anywhere, anytime, regardless of the circumstances. A student raised her hand. Dr. Chen, how did you stay so calm when you realized you were essentially the only medical resource available? Training and preparation are crucial, but ultimately patient care comes down to one fundamental principle. You do whatever is necessary to help someone in need. Whether you're in a fully equipped emergency room or at 30,000 feet with limited supplies, Sarah had learned that being a physician means being ready to respond to medical emergencies wherever they occur. The skills, knowledge, and judgment she had developed through years of training had enabled her to save a life in circumstances no medical school could fully simulate. The flight that had started as routine travel home had reminded her why she chose medicine. For moments when her expertise could mean the difference between life and death. Between a father missing his daughter's wedding and being there to walk her down the aisle. If this story of medical heroism and life-saving quick thinking inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of ordinary people doing extraordinary things when others need help most. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that celebrate the professionals who dedicate their lives to caring for others, even at 30,000 feet.